Hello and welcome to CVR News Network. You're watching CVR English and welcome to World 360 with me, Sandeep. These are the details. President Donald Trump attended the Club World Cup final in New Jersey, praising FIFA and embracing the global appeal of football. Trump said this sport brings people together and hailed the upcoming 2026 World Cup, which the US will co-host, as a major opportunity for the country. He interacted with FIFA officials and fans, calling the tournament a great thing for America and the world. His appearance at the final added political spotlight to the event, which drew international attention. Trump also noted the potential economic and cultural benefits the World Cup could deliver.
It's a big thing, and Johnny's a friend of mine. He's done such a great job with the league and with soccer, or they would call it football, but I guess we call it soccer. I'm not sure that change could be made very easily, but it's great to watch. And this is a little bit of an upset that we're watching today, isn't it, huh? Oh, they're doing fantastically well. It's a growing sport. It's a great sport. That's right. They said, could you hold this trophy for a little while? We put it in the Oval Office, and then I said, when are you going to pick up the trophy? He says, we're never going to pick it up. You can have it forever in the Oval Office. We're making a new one. And they actually made a new one. So that was quite exciting. But it's in the Oval. Right now it's in the Oval. We flew over the stadium. It was packed. And that's the four matches I know for this group that came in for this. And I think that's fantastic. It was very impressive. Even flying over, you could see the lines of people trying to get in. It's a big thing, and Johnny's a friend of mine. He's done such a great job with the league and with soccer, or they would call it football, but I guess we call it soccer. I'm not sure that change could be made very easily, but it's great to watch. And this is a little bit of an upset that we're watching today, isn't it, huh? Oh, they're doing fantastically well. It's a growing sport. It's a great sport. That's right. They said, could you hold this trophy for a little while? We put it in the Oval Office.
Torrential rains triggered severe flooding across Catalonia on Saturday, leaving 2 people missing near the town of Cables. Firefighters launched a search along the Foix River as nearly 10 centimeters of the rain fell in the matter of hours. According to Spain's weather agency, EMET, the heavy downpour forced Spain's rail operator Renfe to suspend train services across the region. In Barcelona, roads were closed and hospitals turned away patients after floodwaters entered the building. EMET issued a red extreme risk alert for Catalonia and nearby Aragon. Forecast warned up to 60 liters of rain per square meter in just 1 hour. 1 year after an assassination attempt in Butler, Pennsylvania, President Donald Trump reflected on the incident, saying, "God was protecting me," speaking publicly. Trump added that he prefers not to dwell on the event because I have a job to do. The attempt, which shocked supporters and critics alike, has remained a significant moment in Trump's post-presidential life. Despite the scare, Trump emphasized his focus on ongoing political and public engagements.
God was protecting me. Maybe because God wanted to see our country do better or do really well, make America great again. But God was protecting me, Brian. I'll tell you, it's the more you think about it, the more you see it. But no, I don't like to think about it much. You know, I have a job to do, so I don't like to think about it much. It's a little bit of a dangerous profession being president, but I really don't like to think about it too much. I think you're better. God was protecting me. Maybe because God wanted to see our country do better or do really well, make America great again. But God was protecting me, Brian. I'll tell you, it's the more you think about it, the more you see it. But no, I don't like to think about it much. You know, I have a job to do, so I don't like to think about it much. It's a little bit of a dangerous profession being president, but I really don't like to think about it too much. I think you're better. God was protecting me. Maybe because God wanted to see our country do better or do really well, make America great again. But God was protecting me.
Pope Leo XIV urged Compassion Sunday for the world's poor and those suffering under the tyranny and the conflict during a mass celebrated at a parish church closely linked to his Augustinian religious order. Speaking to the congregation, the Pope emphasized the need for global solidarity and mercy in times of hardship. He called on the faithful to support victims of war and oppression through prayer and the action. The Mass highlighted the Church's commitment to social justice and humanitarian aid amid ongoing global crisis.
Cari fratelli e sorelle, lo sguardo fa la differenza perché esprime ciò che abbiamo nel cuore. Si può vedere e passare oltre, oppure vedere e sentire compassione. Ed è la strada di tanti popoli spogliati, derubati e saccheggiati, vittime di sistemi politici oppressivi, di un'economia che li costringe alla povertà, della guerra che uccide i loro sogni e le loro vite. E che cosa facciamo noi? Vediamo e passiamo oltre, oppure ci lasciamo trafiggere il cuore come il samaritano? Cari fratelli e sorelle, lo sguardo fa la differenza perché esprime ciò che abbiamo nel cuore. Si può vedere e passare oltre, oppure
The European Union announced a delay in imposing retaliatory tariffs on US goods as it seeks to negotiate a resolution to escalate trade tensions. European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen commented on President Donald Trump's decision to implement new 30% tariffs on imports from EU and Mexico starting August 1st. Von der Leyen emphasized the EU's preference for dialogue over conflict, expressing hope for mutually benefit agreement. The delay aims to open space for negotiations amid fears of a wider trade war impacting global markets.
Second question, Francesca.
The United States have sent us a letter with measures that would come into effect unless there is a negotiated solution. So we will therefore also extend the suspension of our countermeasures till early August. And at the same time, we will continue to prepare further countermeasures so we are fully prepared. Very important in this is always the second and the third element. The second element is to diversify our trade relationships. So this big and important political agreement on a free trade agreement with Indonesia is today a huge milestone forward. and shows that we're looking for new open market. And the third element, of course, is working on the single market itself, deepening the single market, because this is our safe harbor. So we have, as you know, a two-track approach. It's very important. We have always been very clear that we prefer a negotiated solution. This remains the case, and we will use the time that we have now till the 1st of August. And on the second track, since the very beginning, we have worked and now are ready to respond with countermeasures. We've prepared for this, and we can respond with countermeasures if necessary. So there's two.
Second question, Francesca.
The United States have sent us a letter with measures that would come into effect unless there is a negotiated solution. So we will therefore also extend the suspension of our countermeasures till early August. And at the same time, we will continue to prepare further countermeasures, so we are fully prepared.
Gaza Civil Defense Agency reported that Israeli airstrikes on Sunday killed at least 43 Palestinians, including children, struck at water distribution point. The attacks came as ceasefire negotiations between Israel and Hamas remained deadlocked. The rising civilian toll has intensified international pressure for truce, but progress has stalled amid ongoing violence. Rescue workers continue to search for survivors under rubble as humanitarian conditions in Gaza worsen. The latest wave of airstrikes underscores the fragile state of the region amid a deepening conflict and stalled diplomatic efforts. Speak.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.
President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi took part in several key activities on the sideline of the 7th Coordination Summit of the African Union. He had bilateral meetings with African leaders to discuss strengthening regional cooperation. The President emphasized Egypt's commitment to supporting peace and development across the continent. He also addressed economic integration and sustainable development goals. Discussions included boosting trade and tackling climate changes. President el-Sisi reaffirmed Egypt's role in enhancing African unity and strategic partnerships. His engagements reflected Egypt's active diplomacy within the African framework.
شارك السيد الرئيس عبد الفتاح السيسي في الدورة السابعة لاجتماع القمة التنسيقي لمنتصف العام للاتحاد الأفريقي، وذلك في العاصمة مالابو بدولة غينيا الاستوائية. تأتي مشاركة السيد الرئيس عبد الفتاح السيسي في الاجتماع التنسيقي الذي تقتصر المشاركة فيه عادة على بعض القادة الأفارقة، وذلك في ضوء تولي مصر رئاسة قدرة إقليم شمال أفريقيا.
السادة الحضور، إن تنفيذ مهام مكونات القوة الإفريقية الجاهزة ومن بينها قدرة إقليم شمال أفريقيا في دعم جهود الوقاية من النزاعات والاستجابة السريعة للأزمات وحفظ وبناء السلام يتطلب تنسيقا وثيقا مع مفوضية الاتحاد الافريقي ومختلف الاقاليم الجغرافيه إن تفعيل وتعزيز الآليات الإقليمية المعنية بحفظ السلم والأمن في القارة بات أمرا ضروريا، ومن هنا تبرز أهمية القوى الإفريقية الجاهزة كركيزة أساسية في منظومة السلم والأمن الإفريقية، وبحيث تستند إلى مكوناتها الإقليمية مثل قدرة إقليم شمال إفريقيا التي تتولى مصر رئاستها الدورية العام الحالي، بما تتيحه هذه المنظومة من توافر قوى متعددة الأبعاد ومتكاملة التجهيز تتمتع بالقدرة العملياتية والاستعدادية للانتشار لدعم وحفظ السلام. وخطت قدرة إقليم شمال إفريقيا خطوات إيجابية على هذا المسار، حيث أقرت اجتماعات رؤساء الأركان ووزراء الدفاع التي انعقدت في القاهرة مطلع العام الجاري خطة الأنشطة والبرامج، ودشنت مسارا للإصلاح المالي والإداري، وقامت بمراجعة إجراءات عملها وبما يحقق استدامة مالية وكفاءة في التخطيط والإنفاق. كما تبذل الأمانة التنفيذية لقدرة إقليم شمال إفريقيا وأجهزة التخطيط والتدريب والتقييم جهودا مقدرة داخل الإقليم لتعزيز مستوى الاستعداد العملياتي، وهو الأمر الذي ساهم في استكمال الآخر متطلبات جاهزية القدرة بتنفيذ التمرين الميداني في دولة الجزائر الشقيقة بهدف تحقيق التناغم والتنسيق بين المكونات الثلاثة العسكرية والشرطية والمدنية، وتحقيق فهم أعمق لأدوارها في أي مهام سلام توكل إليها. أصحاب الفخامة والمعالي، السيدات والسادة،
شارك السيد الرئيس عبد الفتاح السيسي في الدورة السابعة لاجتماع
Egypt's Minister of Agriculture El Sayed Al Hussein has called on the Egyptian police to actively participate in the upcoming Senate elections. He emphasized that voting is a vital constitutional right and a national duty. Al Hussein urged citizens to turn out in large numbers to strengthen democratic practices. He highlighted the importance of public participation in shaping the future of the country. The minister's statement comes as preparations for the elections enter the final stages. Authorities have assured a smooth and transparent voting process. Al-Qasser reiterated the role of citizens in building a stronger, more representative state.
عايز اقول ان برضو دائما الاجتماعات دي بيسودها جانب من الايجابيه والمشاركه الفعاله وانطباع جيد حوالين هذه القائمه. يمكن ابرز التوصيات اللي انتهت اليها هذه الجلسه كان اول حاجه يعني توجيه رساله شكر وتأييد للسيد الرئيس عبد الفتاح السيسي رئيس الجمهوريه، ودعم رؤيته وجهوده المخلصة على الصعيد المحلي والإقليمي والدولي لحماية الأمن القومي المصري ودعم الاستقرار في مصر ودعم التنمية. دي الرسالة الأولى اللي انتهى إليها البيان، إن احنا نوجه هذه الرسالة لفخامة السيد الرئيس. الرسالة الثانية وكانت رسالة شكر لشعب مصر العظيم على وقوفه جنب الدولة المصرية في كل الأوقات وتحمله في ظل هذه المتغيرات العصيبة اللي احنا بنشوفها حوالينا في المنطقة الإقليمية والدولية اللي حوالينا. فاحنا بنوجه رسالة شكر للشعب المصري العظيم، وبنطالبه برضه بأنه يخرج يمارس حقه الدستوري في هذا الاستحقاق الدستوري عشان تظهر الانتخابات لمجلس الشيوخ 2025 بشكل حضاري يعبر عن قوة الدولة المصرية ويعبر عن شكل الدولة المصرية ويعبر عن النموذج المحترم اللي حضراتكم شايفينه هذا اليوم. عايز اقول ان برضو دائما الاجتماعات دي بيسودها جانب من الايجابيه والمشاركه الفعاله وانطباع جيد حوالين هذه القائمه. يمكن ابرز التوصيات اللي انتهت اليها هذه الجلسه.
Hundreds of Palestinians gathered to mourn two men killed in a violent clash with Israeli settlers and forces in occupied West Bank. One of the victims, Sayfullah Musallet, a 20-year-old U.S. citizen from Tampa, Florida, was beaten to death near Sinjil, north of Ramallah, the Palestinian Health Ministry said. The second victim, 23-year-old Hussein al-Shalabi, was fatally shot in the chest during the same incident. Musallet's family said medics were delayed for hours before he was carried to an ambulance but died en route to the hospital. The U.S. State Department acknowledged the incident but declined further comment. The Israeli military said an investigation is underway and claimed settlers were initially attacked with stones. The violence comes amid escalating tensions and rising settler attacks in the West Bank since the start of Gaza war in 2023. Envoy Kellogg, U.S. Special Envoy for Ukraine under President Donald Trump, arrived in Kyiv and was greeted at the capital's railway station by Andriy Yermak, head of Ukraine's presidential office. The visit signals continued high-level contacts between Trump allies and Ukrainian leadership amid the ongoing war with Russia. Kellogg's arrival comes at a critical time as Ukraine seeks to maintain bipartisan support from the U.S. ahead of 2024 presidential election. No official statement on the purpose of the visit was immediately released. Relatives and mourners gathered Sunday for the funeral of Sayfullah Musallet, the 23-year-old Palestinian American from Florida, and his friend, both killed in Israeli-occupied West Bank. According to the Palestinian Health Ministry, Musallet was beaten to death by Israeli settlers during a violent confrontation near the town of Sinjil. His friend, also killed in the same incident, was laid to rest alongside him. The killings have drawn international attention and renewed concerns over escalating settler violence in the region. Musallet's US-based family has called for justice.
Every person has a right to be on their land. So my son was on their land. We have land there in the bottom. But these settlers came. They beat him. And for 3 hours, the IDF and the settlers did not let no one go and take and get any kind of medical help for him. We demand justice against these settler terrorists. There's no question about that. They're on illegal land. It's not theirs. We demand the U.S. government to do something about it. They're always saying
Two women were killed in shooting at Kentucky church following a violent spree that began when a state trooper was shot during a traffic stop. Police said authorities confirmed the same suspect was responsible for both incidents and was later killed. The initial shooting occurred during a routine stop, after which the gunman fled and opened fire at the church. Police have not yet released the names of the victims or the suspect. The motive remains under investigation as the community reels from tragedy.
On July 13, around 11:36 a.m., Lexington police officers were dispatched for a shooting involving a Kentucky State Trooper on Terminal Drive. The trooper had pulled over a vehicle on Terminal Drive after receiving a license plate reader alert in the area of Versailles Road. The trooper was shot and the suspect fled. While that shooting occurred on Terminal Drive, it was unrelated to the Bluegrass Airport and did not occur inside the airport terminal. The trooper is in stable condition and receiving medical treatment. A short time later, the suspect carjacked a vehicle in the 3700 block of Bellawood Drive before fleeing the area. No injuries were reported during that carjacking. Officers were able to track the vehicle to the Richmond Road Baptist Church and the 5800 block of Old Richmond Road. The suspect fired his weapon at individuals on church property.
US President Donald Trump attended the FIFA Club World Cup final on Sunday, describing Chelsea's victory as a great match. Surrounded by family, friends and close advisors, Trump watched the game from a VIP box at the stadium in New Jersey. His appearance highlighted growing US engagement with global football ahead of the 2026 World Cup, which the US will co-host. Trump praised the atmosphere and level of play, saying the sport is gaining momentum in America. The match drew international attention, with dignitaries and fans from around the world in attendance.
We had a great time at the big soccer match today at the Meadowlands. It was phenomenal. It was a little bit of an upset, I guess they would say, but it was a great match, very well played, tremendous crowd. And that's sort of a pre-World Cup. We have World Cup coming, we have Olympics coming, and we have 250 years coming. That's going to be a big one, maybe the big. We had a great time at the big soccer.
Women build runners remain a rarity in Spain's and Line Field tradition, but participants like Martinez say their presence is steadily growing. For decades, women were barred from joining the bull runs due to the decree that remained in place until it was repealed in 1974, with women allowed to run starting in 1975. Despite lingering cultural barriers, more women are now challenging the long-standing male dominance of the event. That participation is increasingly visible, with many hoping to inspire a new generation of female runners in the iconic San Fermin Festival and beyond.
Pues aquí en Pamplona hace 2 años que ya vine y sí que me metí, yo viniendo más años, pero no me había atrevido. Sí que es verdad que en la Comunidad Valenciana hay mucha afición al toro, y tanto en Albacete, que es el pueblo de mi abuela, también cuando he podido y he tenido la oportunidad me he metido en los entierros. Yo sabía lo que es sentir el toro cerca, corriendo detrás, y ya Pamplona es otra liga.
Pues a ratos me siento pequeña, que dices, ¿qué hago aquí? Porque quieras que no, pues ya solo por físico te sientes un poco inferior, pero en el momento in situ de esos segundos somos todos iguales.
Pues es sencillo, si tienen ganas, si tienen afición y encuentran una mínima pizca de valor, les diría que no se lo piensen. Al final es un sentimiento, estar aquí dentro es una sensación única que si no se ponen aquí no lo van a sentir nunca. Y lo que digan. Pues aquí en Pamplona hace 2 años que ya vine y sí.
A fast-moving wildfire swept through the Grand Canyon's north rim, destroying a historic lodge and dozens of other structures. Arizona Governor Kathy Hobbs has called on the federal government to investigate the National Park Service response to the blaze. The fire enforced evacuations in the area and raised concerns over the preparedness and resource allocation. The destroyed lodge, a cherished landmark, had stood for nearly a century. Fire crews continue battling the flames as damage assessments are underway. No injuries have been reported so far. That's the end of the bulletin. Keep watching CVR News English.